Hello, my name's Finn, and this is the Borgen Project. So, founded in the US by Clint Borgen in 2003 after his visit to Kosovo during the Civil War, the Borgen Project is now expanded to over 1,800 cities in the US, over 400 cities or towns in the UK, and about 100 cities or towns in Canada, and then further than that, it's in 48 other countries around the world. So the Borgen Project kind of focuses on advocacy and mobilising public voice to voice their concerns to their government representations. So they kind of try and end global extreme poverty by addressing aspects of multidimensional poverty. So this could be education, access to power, electricity, decreasing infant mortality rates and increasing the chance of mother's survival during birth, clean water, sanitation, food, medicine. So addressing issues within Parliament that affect and bring people out of poverty by addressing these issues. So how do we do this? What's our method? We tackle extreme poverty by getting wealthy countries to act. Countries in the G7, leaders of the UN, these massive powerhouse countries have the economic capabilities and also the capitalistic interests to invest in ending poverty. This could be an increase to their national security, increasing trade partners, trade routes, job creation. They have the self-interest, but they also have the capabilities and moral responsibility to end world poverty. It's kind of, our methodology is kind of a top-down methodology. We harness the power and influence the decisions of economic leaders and political leaders throughout the world to have a shift in global policy for poverty from one of self-interest and it's not our problem to one of stewardship. So how do we do this? What do you do? How do we do this? Our aim is to mobilise individuals and constituents to get their government representatives to represent them. So this can be through voicing concerns, through emails, phone calls, letters, meeting them in person, social media, expanding the education and the awareness of global poverty and making sure that our government officials act and make a difference. So in the UK, MPs have a responsibility to address their constituents' concerns. So if you do email your MP, they do have to reply to you. It's part of their job. So the more emails they get, the more likely they are to realise that this is something that their constituency really feels passionate about, and they're more likely to act and talk in Parliament and potentially vote in favour of how we voice our concerns and what we want as constituents. So in the UK, the Borgen Project is focusing on official development assistance and the legislation and controversies surrounding it. So in 2015, the UK enshrined in legislation the ODA Target Act, which basically committed the UK to spending 0.7% of gross national income on foreign aid, which is the ODA. Up until COVID, the UK made its commitments, even exceeded them at some times, spending more than 0.7% on foreign aid. But unfortunately, due to COVID and the economic pressures and issues it caused in the UK and the recession it caused, Rishi Sunak and his Parliament decided to temporarily cut ODA assistance and foreign aid assistance to 0.5%. Although this was catastrophic for many people across the world, cut aid to many, many countries and many programs, it was hope because it was a temporary fix, and he did promise that we would return to 0.7%. However, our For the People Labour Party and Keir Starmer at the moment have decided to not restore our 0.7% and actually cut it further to 0.3% in favour of an increase in defence spending. There's an argument that defence spending is necessary to be increased because of the wars in Ukraine and Russia and the Middle East and the kind of general global intensity and tensions being increased at the moment. However, the impacts are going to be catastrophic. Through academic research, you can find many articles and statistics, but the ones I found most horrific were that nearly 40 million people or children are not going to be immunised by Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, because of a lack of funding. 40 million people is nearly 2/3 of this country, to put it in perspective. Further cuts are also going to be made to the Women's Integrated Sexual Health Act, which is the WISH programme, which up until now have prevented 3.85 million unsafe abortions. So cuts to them, we're going to see an increase in unsafe abortions, a lack of sexual health education, fewer contraceptions available to people living in extreme poverty. Also, education cuts at the moment in sub-Saharan Africa, places like the Central African Republic and the Gambia, their education is funded 50% by foreign aid. So this education is going to be cut completely from sub-Saharan Africa in many countries, and as a result will plummet people even further into poverty, because education is one of the most important factors of multi-dimensional poverty and a reason why so many people are kept in poverty because of a lack of education around sexual health, about family, about the roles of women, about investment, about infrastructure, about the economy, about farming, about agriculture. A lack of education is one of the biggest reasons that people are in poverty, and we're going to cut that in sub-Saharan Africa, which is one of the most extreme poor places in the world. Another one, the World Food Programme is being cut. It's expected that 232,000 children will go without essential food, basically putting 232,000 people into starvation in favour of a fighter jet. But these are just a few of the statistics I found. There are so many more. Please do your research and become aware on the issues and the responsibility that the UK has on funding and helping and supplying aid throughout the world. So how can you help in the UK? What can you do? If you follow these links in the UK, follow the UK one, obviously, but if you're in anywhere else in the world, follow the borgenproject.org. In the UK, you follow this link and you just simply press on Contact Parliament. How do I contact Parliament? It will tell you different methods to contact Parliament, but the easiest one I found, and one you can do pretty instantly right now, is email them using our contact form. So you click on email contact form, and it comes up with a form that you just easily fill out. It requires your name, your email, your address, your postcode, just to ensure that you're in the right constituency. And then you click on one of the issues you'd like to email your MP about. So at the moment on the website, there's one on priority of the Official Development Assistance Budget, which I just talked about, and it's about restoring ODA commitments back to 0.7%, so the UK can continue to supply foreign aid across the world and not cut these vital, or cut funding to these vital programs I just mentioned. The other one is a call for a ceasefire and unrestricted humanitarian aid for Gaza and Palestine. Obviously, please do both. Both are so important. Thousands of people are dying, even at aid sites in Gaza at the moment. It's a horrific situation, and the UK's ignorance and ignoring these is actively fueling the Israeli agenda, and we are responsible as a country. But anyway, at the bottom it says, who's your MP? Really easy to find out. There's a link. You click on it, you put in your postcode, and you find out your MP. Mine's Lucy Powell, leader of the House of Commons. I hope Lucy Powell watches this video and understands the actions that the Labour Party, that she is so senior within, is doing at the moment. Millions and millions of people are going to be affected and plummeted into poverty because of the actions of your Labour government. And I speak to you directly. It's abhorrent, it's disgusting that we even are thinking about focusing on fighter jets and defence missiles and aggressive missiles, and in favour of humans, in favour of people who have never had a chance and will never have a chance, but due to the history of imperialism and colonialism, and have always been plummeted into poverty and have been taken advantage of, and that is, we have a moral responsibility to provide as much remedy and help that we can, rather than investing in military expeditions that will put people into poverty if they are used. So yeah, I really hope that you and your Labour Party rethink this commitment. There's other ways that this country can raise money for national defence. A wealth tax, for example. There's people in this country who have an obscene amount of wealth, and this country, the top 100 people could fund your defence spending with ease. And everyone knows that, but unfortunately, the government will do nothing about it. But anyway, aside from that, who's your MP? Click on your MP, find your link, just put your answer in the bottom, and then press submit, and the Borgen Project will automatically email them, and then you should get a reply. It's their responsibility that they reply, but if not, they will see it. They do have to read it, and hopefully that you can influence and persuade your MP to vote in favour of these vital legislations and acts that the Borgen Project is trying to get through Parliament. But yeah, thank you very much, and let's help those that need it.